Waiting for a few more people to tap in so we can get this thing started. I'm currently live streaming on YouTube, also Facebook Live. We got some things to talk about. Yo, I want to thank each and every individual for tapping in. I know others are going to tap in later, but adjust my volume right. So, a lot of things came across my desk, and it's time to address some things. It's time to put the truth in proper perspective. It's a new year. First and foremost, Happy New Year's. I'm currently sitting at 96,000 subscribers. So your boy's moving. Your boy's staying consistent. Putting that content out there. Putting that truth out there. You know, some say it's a little controversial, but I believe in putting the truth in proper perspective. That's just me. Things that I do, I go unscripted. Why? Because I want to give it to you raw and uncut with no chaser. And when you have an adult conversation with someone or many, number one, cage is going to be rattled. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And oftentimes, certain individuals need their coattail pulled because you have a large number of individuals have spent a whole lot of time lying to folk, taking advantage of folk. Like I always said, and I preached this a few years ago at my god brother service, Bishop Jarvis Hines. You better know who your peoples is. You better know who to deal with and who not to deal with. You better know who to sit with, who not to sit with. You better know who to date and who not to date. Need I say more? So, we're going to tap in with my boy Truth Unedited. He has some things to say. I have some things to say. And then the spirit of the universe is going to take us home. So, with that being said, grab your shoulder pads and your helmet, and let's get this work. Let's go.
Now, they didn't say anything about the $4 million that was raised for the United Negro College Fund. They never mentioned that she prayed until heaven came down. They never said anything about this was the largest fundraiser for for HBCUs in the country. But insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded people got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress. Now, you got to help some people because some people have embraced the full knowledge of ignorance without any assistance for understanding. The dress was not see-through. The dress was flesh color. But because you ain't never been nowhere and ain't never been exposed to nothing, furthermore, I needed to set the record straight. Y'all don't like this. I need to set the record straight. I bought the dress, exposed to nothing, and I like it. I don't care whether you like it or not. She ain't married to y'all, she married to me.
She married to me. She ain't married to y'all. She's married to me. But I digress. Let's continue.
I bought the dress. I bought the dress. I bought the dress. I don't care whether you like it or not. I bought the dress.
This was irritating to watch and irritating to show, but this has to be dealt with now. When I was first waking up to the relevance of the Bible and the truth of how evil this world was, I remember reading the book of Revelation and reading about how all this wickedness on the earth was going to be happening while they're going to be judged for it, and people still didn't repent. Like after the sixth trumpet, it says, "But the rest of mankind who were not killed by these plagues did not repent of their works of their hands, that they should not worship demons and idols of gold, silver, brass, stone, and wood, which can neither see nor hear nor walk. And they did not repent of their murders or their sorceries or their sexual immorality or their thefts." Revelation chapter 9, verses 20 and 21. I never could fathom and understand how all that could be occurring and people still couldn't see that they were in judgment and that they should repent. But that was many years ago. And though the world was wicked during those times,
It's almost like when you begin to come into the awakening and you begin to come into your own, you see things differently. However, something traumatic has to take place, in my opinion, in one's life in order for them to get that wake-up call. in order for them to have that reality check, in order for them to look at certain things and say, wait a minute, how come this isn't being taught in the church or Bible study or service? And then you begin to find out, you begin to discover that you've been lied to. Also, what it's discovering is how some individuals will use Yeshua's word for their own personal gain. To me, that's not right, but that's just me. If you have a broken individual, a hurt individual, a lost individual, or an individual that has questions about salvation and so forth, they should be able to come to you, and you should be able to explain to them in all fairness and honesty, openly and clear. But most don't. And this is what we're seeing in these times. If y'all haven't gotten William Cooper's book, Behold the Pale, the White Horse, go get it. And you will begin to see all the things that is happening now has been said in that book, has been written in that book. He written it. Or you can even glance over and take a trip to Revelations, because everything in the whole chapter of Revelations goes in detail of the things that are happening now. So this is not a surprise. And I thought about it. I prayed about it. Should I do a video or just go live stream with it? And in my heart, go live stream with it. Whoever hears this message, whoever has ears, let them hear this message. Let's continue to feast.
The times that we're in right now have to be the most wicked and deceptive times in the history of this world. And when you're seeing it like this, that this is what the Christian church looks like, the tares are finally grown. You can understand what the state of the world is in its entirety. I saw this nonsense being spread on social media with this Jamal Bryant early, and I ignored it at first because there's nothing real about Jamal Bryant. But the nonsense kept coming in my algorithm, and so I decided to read the comments. And it was the comments that surprised me more than anything. There was no real controversy, from what I saw. When I saw this on social media, I never saw posts from people speaking of their dislike and the rejection of this dress. Not when it was first being posted. I never saw the post about the controversy. The only post I saw was from people defending Jamal Bryant and his wife. Because of the dress, people assumed and knew that people were going to be offended, so they said that there was controversy because they knew that the dress was controversial. Now, was there people speaking against it? I mean, I'm sure there were, but all I'm saying is that those posts never made it to my algorithm. They weren't the loudest voices. And all I read in the comments were comments of people supporting this woman and talking about how good she looked and how she could wear whatever she wants. And I mean, it was the overwhelming majority. I did not see the controversy. Again, I'm not saying it didn't exist. I'm just saying I didn't see the backlash or the kind of cancel culture that you would expect. For me, it was the comments of support that really got me. But still.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct.
I always like to highlight people will sell their soul to the things of this world, or they have already sold their soul to the things of this world. And those individuals, if you do not agree with them, if you do not accept them, if you do not, like on the movie Sinners, let them in, they got a problem with you. Look how you're treated. Little history lesson. Look how Yeshua was treated. He didn't fit in. He didn't go along. He didn't accept. See, we can continue to have this conversation because I study. And what I do is I mix Bible scripture with what's going on today. People are doing things to you right in front of your face and you don't even see it. Okay, I'm gonna let that marinate.
Still, I was leaving it alone. It wasn't until this man got up on his stage, they call it a pulpit, but people, please understand, that is a stage, and that man is acting. These people are all acting. It wasn't until I saw all of that, of what I just played, that I felt the call to speak some words, because this world truly has lost its mind. And if there are not people out here that will say things that need to be said, then how will people recognize their error and snap out of it? Because many of you are caught in a spell. And so I feel compelled to really speak some words that many people may get in their feelings about, because it may hit close to home. But I do hope that it reaches to the hearts and minds of the last bit of people that are being called to the kingdom to repent, and that people can truly snap out of it and recognize the evil that they have been attached to unknowingly. Many of you are Satanists and you do not recognize it. So let's get the record straight here. The dress, it is a problem, a huge one. The narrative that this man who is said to be a preacher of the gospel, the narrative that he has used is completely wicked and a complete abandonment of responsibility of the role that he represents. And he has now given a public announcement that this role of pastor in the Christian church is no longer hiding any longer. The Christian church is going full-time into Satanism, and this whole fake controversy was a declaration of it. If you do not desire to be a Satanist, if you do not desire to accept the mark of the beast, it is imperative that you hear my words. Now, that does not mean that you're going to automatically agree with me. And I may say some things that may provoke you, because
We are going to agree to disagree. And that's what we're supposed to do. Different individuals are going to have different viewpoints. But I stand on this. And those that follow me know, especially my spiritual mother, Mama Lakey, and my god brother, Bishop Jarvis Hines. They know me like I know like the benefits of drinking, Celsius energy drink, the ingredients that it has and how healthy it is for you. That's how they know me. And others too. Here's the thing. If you're going to stand on a pulpit, stage, wherever, you got to be honest, open, and real about the words that you are spitting. Okay, that was too ghetto. You have to be clear and honest and open and sincere about the words that you are speaking, especially words from the Bible, the Torah. You cannot be standing up there lying to people, taking advantage of people, playing around with people. There are people out there that are battling things in real life, that are going through things in real life challenges. And the worst thing to do is to be standing up there and just take people money and give them a feel-good word and then send them on their way. That doesn't do anything. It doesn't solve anything. Okay? You have individuals that need guidance, need prayer, salvation. They want to turn their life around. That have questions about scripture that they don't understand. And they come to you to get an understanding. Instead of that, they get treated like trash. They get thrown to a side. Don't worry about it, just deal with it. No, you got some real people that are battling and struggling with things, and they need help. That's, again, there's a reason why, and you're going to see it in this clip, why I chose to go live and have a locker room conversation about it. Let's continue.
Because it may hit you in a place you don't actually like being affected in. It may force you to think, and it may provoke thoughts of accountability that men like Jamal Bryant have taken from you. But this is all very real, and your soul depends on it. So if you at least hear me out, you may not be transformed instantly, but I do hope and pray that it provokes you to think and analyze what it is that you have been accepting. So I'm going to take this time to speak on the real problem, and that is the fact that the Christian church is now embracing Satanism publicly. They are no longer hiding it. The tares are fully grown. I'm going to show you exactly how. Let's begin. Okay, so before I start, let's deal with this first. Please understand that I know that the rebuttal that most of you people are going to say is, well, that's not my church. My church teaches the true gospel. This is the central and most popular thought that most people have that makes them abandon the accountability and what it is that they actually need to hear.
Oh yeah, that's not me. I'm not there. What they're doing doesn't affect me. I don't do what they do. How many times have we heard that? Like, seriously, how many times have we literally heard that? When an individual has made other things their God and they serve that thing, yes, you're guilty too. Because what you mean to say is serving Yeshua ain't the thing, ain't it. But serving the things of the world is the thing. Not knowing how the enemy has peppered up the wrong, peppered up evil, dressed it up, have it smelling good, looking good, for you to partake of it. Forget about forget about doing right. No. Hashatan has opened up the floodgates, opened up the doors to the things and giving you things. But you not knowing that you got to pay for that. That at some point, all the things that he has given you, money, fame, glory, material stuff, you got to pay for that. You got to answer for that. He's coming to collect your life or someone else. In the streets, and the higher up code, we call that sacrifice. That too, I'm going to let marinate.
They like to say whatever it is, it's not about their church because their church is the real church. The reason people are able to say this is because people don't recognize what has happened because of the Protestant Reformation. The Protestant Reformation, it wasn't just a rejection of the Catholic Church. That's not the only thing that happened. What the Protestant Reformation actually was about is that it was a fight against what truth is. And so every person that had an opinion that disagreed with someone else felt that they were in authority and they created a new denomination. And long story short, that's how we got all these Christian denominations. One man said, no, we doing it like this, and they named the denomination after themselves, or they made a whole group out of it. And long story short, that's how we got all these Christian denominations. And so if one person did something crazy, because the Christian church was so divided into segments, accountability and reflection only made it to that church organization itself. And so other people would just leave that church and start a new church. And so that's how you would see the individual churches fall, or individual pastors, but you rarely saw a Christian denomination go away. In fact, the name would just keep growing. That's exactly how this church that Jamal Bryant is standing in is still in effect. Because if you remember, this was Bishop Eddie Long's church, and he had a whole scandal.
I've been accused I'm under attack. I want you to know, as I said earlier.
Now, I know with Bishop Eddie Long, that was very controversial. And you had individuals that took certain things where it didn't need to go. And it made him look bad. Now, if he would have continued to fought that, that would have concluded and found its innocence. See, people, know this. When you go against the grain and you don't follow the people nor the things of this world, folk are going to come for you. Folk are going to say things about you. Folk are going to have a problem with you. Because the very thing that they wanted you to do, but you made an executive decision not to do, not to follow. Who the hell you think you are? You're supposed to do this like us. You're supposed to do what we do. You're supposed to speak how we speak. You're supposed to live how we live. You're supposed to move how we move. How dare you move in another direction? How dare you dissociate yourself from us? When you're supposed to be one of us. You're supposed to be amongst one of us. This is where we at. It's a big truck. What do you mean? Okay. Let's come at it another angle. How is it that you talk about the sisterhood, but yet when a woman of good character does something good, modern women shame her, call her a pygmy, disrespect her, call her out her name, because that woman of good character chose not to move like modern women move? Does that ring a bell to you? Does that hit home to you? Are your eyes open or your ears open? Okay, you got these fairy dust, lollipop scent men out there. They get mad when a man of good character doesn't do what they do, doesn't speak how they speak, doesn't dress how they dress, doesn't live how they live, doesn't move how they move. Because they chose to lean in with money and things and wonder why women play them. But a man of good character moves quietly and strategically and uses discernment and wisdom. All those are two different people, of which I just gave you an example of. But this is what we see in today, real time. Let's continue.
I am not a perfect man, but this thing I'm gonna fight.
The church didn't go away. They just changed the pastor. This man interviewed, he got the job, agreed to be in the role that he's playing right now, and that's how he is in the position that he's in. He's just playing a role. He is doing what he is being told to do. So listen, I get it. You aren't a part of New Birth Atlanta. You never liked Jamal Bryant. Maybe you yourself didn't agree with the dress or whatever. And so based on that, you feel absolved from this conversation and you feel free from guilt and you feel like you have nothing to do with this conversation, and me attacking the Christian church in general as a whole, you feel is wrong because it can't be you that I'm talking about, because your church is a true church. And so what happens after that is you instantly go into defense and you want to tell me that what I'm about to say about the Christian church doesn't apply to you and that I shouldn't generalize all Christians because this doesn't apply to you, blah, blah, blah. This is the major line of defense that keeps people stagnant and without growth and understanding. And this is just what the Protestant Reformation created, which is why this situation has even been able to happen in the first place. It is not true that you are not a part of the problem. It is only true that you are not a part of this problem. But in regards to Satanism, the Christian church has very much embraced it. And I'm going to prove it. So please, leave that defense alone. It's not true. Let me deal with Jamal first. I didn't play the whole thing for time purposes. But before I made this, I made sure I listened to his whole sermon to make sure I had full context. And my goodness, let me just say that if you do truly care about the word and what it truly says, it's literal torture to listen to men like this who claim.
I take Yeshua's word seriously. I'm not perfect myself, but I know my place when it comes to my relationship with the Most High. And it took me some years. It's not about religion, it's about relationship. When I came into the truth, I was always into the truth, but I wasn't as deep as I am now until I found myself in my divorce in 2019. That's when I really had to buckle down and study. That's when I really had to start tapping in to the brothers. And when I begin to tap in and I begin to look at myself, when I begin to see me, my faults, my issues, my trauma, childhood past, etc., up until even my divorce, seeing that. I remember Stephen Furtick, well-known pastor out of, I believe, South Carolina, North Carolina, one of the two. He did a sermon called "It Had to Happen." Then he followed up with a part 2, "I'm Glad It Happened." And I never understood both of those teachings. And I found myself listening to it and listening to it and listening to it and getting an understanding of where he was coming from. Yes, these things happen. They had to happen. I'm glad that they happened because it creates a better version of you. You are able to take those things of which you've experienced, you went through, and you've allowed it to make you a better person, to be seen by many, but also allowed you to open up your mind and open up your heart and your spirit to trust the Most High. There's a lot of individuals out there that are narcissists. Like I said, I learned a lot. And but I've always been the type of person to take heartache, to take pain, to take those triumphs, to take those things and turn them into blessings. Versus some people have a pity party, or some people use those things as fuel instead of sitting down being honest with yourself. What part did you play? And I guarantee you, even now, certain family members, certain friends, they asking questions. They asking questions. Because that's what real people do. Real people ask questions. Real people say, what part did you play? How is it that you've allowed this individual, or you put this individual through this, that, and the third. We're only going by what you said, what you told us. But we didn't hear the other side. Why is the other side trying to get in touch with? Hold up. Let's connect the dots here. And this is how it goes. Using this analogy, even though these are a real event that took place, but just using it as an analogy. Sometimes God will put you in a place and have certain things happen to you, and you won't know why they're happening. But God will back you up into a corner where you have no choice but to face him. First, face yourself. Do you know it's hard to run from yourself when he backs you up into a corner and throws everything from your past right at you? You're going to face this, you're going to face this, you're going to face this, you're going to face this. No more running. No more running. When I started, my work on myself had already been starting after my accident in 2015 where I almost died. I was rear-ended by a drunk driver and my Suburban flipped 4 times on the 60 freeway in Cali before hitting the center divider at 2:15 in the morning. Now, you know them big rig trucks be driving late at night. And it was the grace of Yah that there was like a 30, 40-minute gap before start seeing vehicles, trucks coming. You do not know when your name is called. So between now and then, it is up to you of how you live your life, how you treat yourself and others. Most importantly, how you treat the Most High while you breathing, because it's because of him that you breathing. Let's continue to feast.
Claimed to be a pastor. He speaks nothing true. He started this whole thing by reading a Bible verse about the Messiah coming back for judgment, but he didn't mention any of that context about the fact the Messiah is coming back for judgment. But he started talking about what the Messiah was dressed in, and he used that to transition into the subject matter that's viral. The man even went as far as calling Mark, the writer of the gospel, meddling, calling him meddling Mark. Highly disrespectful, all because Mark wrote about what John the Baptist was wearing. This man has no respect for the actual word.
Christians have with clothes. This is far from a newfound phenomenon, but actually finds its origins all the way back to the Bible days. John the Baptist is Exhibit A. His singular assignment was to announce that somebody great was coming. But here comes meddling Mark. Mark is the shortest of the synoptic gospels. But here comes meddling Mark.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Totally disrespect. But again, we have to listen and look into things instead of at things and the things that we are seeing, people. Folk are doing things right in front of your face. You even got troubled pastors, fake pastors. Yeah, I'm calling and I'm going there. Standing on the stage, lying to y'all. Speaking, using words that they know that you cannot identify. Okay? Wanna wow you. Nah. I say, be careful of whose service you attend. Number one. Number two, be careful of who prays for you and lay hands on you. I don't let everybody lay hands on me. That's one thing, one of the many things that I've learned from my spiritual mother, Mama Lakey, because she never let too many people get close to her like that. My god brother, Bishop Jarvis Hines, never let any and everybody get close like that. They don't play that. You got to be careful, because you can have the wrong person put their hands on you, they put a curse on you. Nah, I'm going to use discernment. I'm going to see you for who you really are. You come in good faith, it's going to show in your character. You come in bad faith, it's going to show in your character. I need to know, what type of flavor are you bringing?
People can't even see that this man is disrespecting the word that they actually claim to believe in. Right in front of their face, he's disrespecting it. And listen, for any of you in these Christian churches, do not lie and act like this isn't what your pastor does. Again, not 100% of the churches, obviously, but I've been in too many churches to see them take one verse out of context and turn it into a sermon about life and your haters and the man and whatever. This is what the churches do. Anyways, this man used all of that to talk about this dress. And let's be clear, from the get-go, he explained that he caused this controversy and he created all of this so that he could be talked about right now.
I bought the dress. And I like it.
Do you understand the age that we're in social media and people going viral? People know how to use the internet to make themselves relevant. You see, the whole Target nonsense,
Yeah, they know how to say things to get attention, to get likes and views. It's just like when you have a large number of women that will go on social media, mainly TikTok and Instagram, and they will make videos talking about, I don't need no man, and being disrespectful towards men, and everything that comes out of their mouth in their story time is being targeted at men. Why? Because that's the thing that's going to get the most attention, the most target audience, the most likes and views, keeping division. But I want to go a bit further. You do have paid activists. You do have paid people that go out there and they start mess. They get paid to do that, you know. Let's keep this division going. This is what we're going to do. And you see all these videos being disrespectful and hatred towards men, especially black men. Yeah, I'm going there with it. That's why I call it locker room conversation. We have an adult conversation. And we talk about these things because these are things they need to be talked about. So imagine Jamal Bryant doing that exact same thing, but coming at it this way and get that attention. And you wonder why it went viral. Let's continue.
Got to be over by now. We're in a new year. So he transitioned everyone who knows about him into the next phase, which is to really publicly embrace Satanism. He told everyone that he brought the dress, which means that he knew that he was going to be creating this buzz and controversy. He had to know that by buying that dress, it was going to cause controversy. He is a major Christian pastor. So let's be clear for people that don't really understand how the internet works. This man manufactured this controversy. It was created by him. So let's deal with the issue about the dress. And the fact that this man is not up there speaking this just shows how disqualified this man is to be in this role. Or maybe qualified if you actually understand the role Christianity plays in this world today. But I'm just going off the assumption that people really think that this is really truly spreading the truth about this word. I'm not going all that deep. Understand, the problem is with the culture today. Our culture today has gone full on sleazy, over-sexualized, and classless. Because our culture.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, everybody want to be someone on the videos, but see, when we look at, let's go back to the music. Look how the music shifts. Y'all remember how the music was back in the 90s? It sent a message. Hip hop music. I'm talking about Big Daddy Kane, LL Cool J, the Beastie Boys. I'm talking about Salt and Pepper, MC Light. I'm talking about EPMD, Eric B. and Rakim. I'm talking about some heavy hitters. The Fat Boys. I'm talking about, oh my gosh, Audio 2. You know, I'm talking about some real heavy hitters. The Lost Boys. Man. That was really sending that message. X-Clan. You know, D Nice. They call me D Nice. I'm taking out you suckers and you don't know how I did it. You know, Special Ed. I'm talking about some real heavy hitters that when they rapped, it was about something. Poor Righteous Teachers. I mean, I can keep on going. But then you look at the hip hop that's being played today. Today, you don't even have to have skills. Just be willing to sell your soul. You'll get a record deal. You know, shout out to the Wu-Tang, the whole Wu-Tang clan. I mean, man. Same thing with R&B. The R&B back in the 90s, totally different from the R&B that you hear now. After 7. You know, Stacey Lattisaw, Patti LaBelle, Shaka Khan. I'm like, do I need to say more? So, of course, you take that to the things that you're seeing today within the music industry, entertainment industry. That's the thing. Folk want to be that. They're willing to do any and everything to be that. Even conjure up in their mind of a lifestyle that they see how they live. They want to live it, but they've never lived it.
Culture is so built up on sex and immorality. This is unfortunately the culture of our modern day. It's what I want to keep my sons away from. You see, here's the thing. Her dress, it isn't new. It's what women are wearing today. If you're on social media, you see women pushing the boundaries of what dressing out in public really is. They push the boundaries. Yes, the dress.
Ain't no way in hell my wife gonna wear a dress like that. With me. That's something you wear at home when you have an adult time. But to be out public and you have a certain responsibility, a certain status, a certain way that you carry yourself. There's a certain way that you have to be. You have to move. Just like me being, just like an athlete. Can't just bring any and every woman to the house. Nah, can't bring them to the family gathering. Can't bring them to the family cookout. Because somebody in your family gonna see through that woman and gonna pull you aside, pull you in the kitchen, you, your chicken, your plate, a potato salad, your vegetables, your Hawaiian rolls, your Kool-Aid, Gonna pull you in the kitchen, your sweet potato pie, your pecan lemon pie, pull you in the kitchen and have a meeting about who you bought. And you know they ain't lying. Especially when the OGs give you that look. Y'all know what that look mean. So, again, you have to carry yourself and move in a certain way when the cameras and the spotlights is on you. And you don't want to say nor do anything that's going to disrespect that. Again, my wife would never wear no dress like that with me publicly.
It was not see-through, but it was made to appear in this way. This is what the women are wearing today. Everything to sexualize themselves. And he even admitted it in his own words.
I don't care whether you like it or not. She ain't mad to y'all, she mad to me. Now, if you wanted a first lady that looked like Little House on the Prairie and Holly Hobbie, you got the wrong church. I wanted a wife I would rush home to, that I wanted to be excited to see. When we walked in there, I said, shake it fast, watch yourself.
Okay, whatever though.
Show me what you're working with. Really? Shake it fast. Watch yourself. Show me what you...
If you understand the culture of today, that should not be shocking. It's an overall problem of our overall culture, which is influenced by Satanism. And I will get to Satanism in just a sec. Just bear with me as I explain this. All I'm saying is that any pastor of the word should obviously be against this. I have a plethora of evidence to show that this is the culture today. I'm doing my best not to show the images of just how these women dress like this because I'm trying to protect the eyes and innocence of our children. Something that men like Jamal and his wife clearly aren't concerned with. But whatever. The culture today with women is over-sexualized. It's what made the Kardashian women and Beyonce and Cardi B or whoever else that's popular. They are the trendsetters that modern women follow. Again, this is not new. I remember Beyonce wore something like this to the Grammys over a decade ago. This woman's dress was not see-through. It was just made to appear this way. It was made in her skin complexion to look like it was see-through. So let's deal with Jamal and his rebuttal. He used a shifting of blame to absolve himself from accountability. He literally spoke like Satan. He used the faults of other pastors as a justification for his actions.
And y'all are going to hear it. Again, these types of individuals will stand up here on stage and say certain things and move in a certain way right in front of your face. And depending on what type of individual you are and where you at in your spiritual relationship, either you going to catch it or not catch it. Let's continue.
Because there's a double standard in church when it relates to women, and it's abysmal hypocrisy. You got out of shape preachers.
Now, why is she gonna walk her Now, why is she gonna walk down there? Wife gonna stand up and walk up. But this is the same chick that got a BBL, right? Okay. Boy, I tell you. Let's go.
Who rail on modesty, but have never preached a sermon on obesity and gluttony.
Basically, he felt like because these other pastors and church folk were hypocrites, it meant that they did not have the right or authority to judge him for what he's doing. So if everyone's wrong, I can be wrong, is his basic argument. He said a whole lot, but it's what he did not say that is the actual biggest thing in the overall issue. And being that as I read through hundreds of comments and seeing many different people supporting this man, it showed that the Christian church is ready for the full transition to accept Lucifer, which...
Not just that, but I also check out the people in the crowd. See, I pay attention to facial micros and body language very well. And that's, working law enforcement, working in prisons, it teaches you that, working in corrections. But when I see people's facial micros and facial expression, to me, I'm like, some people get it, some people ain't buying it. And believe me, there was a large number of individuals in that audience that was not buying it versus those that were buying it. And you can hear those that were buying it. Let's continue.
Which is what these fake pastors on these stages are there to lead you to. What didn't he say? He did not say what his role and responsibility is as a pastor. A pastor is supposed to be a shepherd. He is supposed to be one disciplined in the word of God and understand the will of our Father in heaven, that he is able to help shepherd his flock towards the kingdom of Yahuwah, our Father in heaven. Please understand what you're seeing here. This wasn't the wife of LeBron James or Damon John or whatever. I mean, do you know how hard it is to find examples of married black men who are influential outside of entertainment?
If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, leave a comment. I got the chat open on Facebook. I got the chat open and on my live stream on YouTube. I want to hear from y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Remember, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Let's go.
Sports, and religion? Goodness gracious. Anyways, his wife is not in the secular world. He is a pastor of a major influential Christian church. And he, in that role, his role is supposed to be representing what holiness looks like. This is the reason why he's a pastor, is to teach his flock how to be what our Father will accept. But understand, he called checking him on that role, in that responsibility, that people were setting up false barometers of holiness. And this is what went viral.
But insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded people got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress.
So now guess what? What happens after these words that he has given here? He has unleashed it to a lawless generation that is already bad. And now he is giving them an excuse to continue on with their current behavior. And he took away any thoughts of accountability against them. So now, because a Christian pastor has told them that what they're wearing is what they want to wear, guess what? They're going to do whatever they want to do now.
Over here, look this way. Who are you wearing tonight? One more photo.
But hold on, I'm going too fast. I'm speaking about his job. I don't know personally what he has said his job is as pastor. I mean, he calls himself a Christian pastor, but his role seems to be more about civil rights and trying to get Negroes in this country to obtain financial success. It doesn't seem like his job is about the kingdom of Yahuwah. Absolutely not. His sermons are more political and all about civil rights and against Donald Trump or whatever else. He is used for the system in a major way. But here's the thing. If you don't understand this world and the wickedness that it promotes, you may not be able to see that. Most people don't. They just think.
Heck yeah. You have political puppets, okay? You have black political puppets. You have black entertainers puppets. You have some black preachers that are puppets. Here's an agenda. You follow that agenda. Here's the curriculum. You follow that curriculum. Don't go off script and do what you want and start teaching the truth. We don't need to tell the people the truth. We want to give them this watered down stuff. We want to give them this sugary stuff. We want to give them this fruity stuff. There was a time where it was a clip. I saw a brother, he a preacher, wearing a skirt, wearing a dress, in heels, teaching, preaching. I swore for load. And I said to myself, is that where we at now? Is that what we're doing? That's what we're doing? You got preachers up here, male preachers, wearing dresses and heels?
Damn.
That he is a pastor. Most people only see that he's a major pastor of a major Christian church. And so because of this role that he's in, people feel that he must know the word better than they do. So he must be teaching the truth according to the word, or else he wouldn't be a famous preacher. And that's as simple as it gets for most people. Like, listen, let's be clear. If he was just a civil rights leader and what they call a community organizer or whatever, and he left the Bible out of it, then what he's doing, though it is a problem for our community, we couldn't call him a hypocrite. We would just say that he lacked morals, he lacked standards, he didn't have values. But it's completely different when he's standing on a pulpit claiming to be a teacher of the word. And I think people are forgetting this. Please understand that those who stand up and proclaim to be a teacher or shepherd of the word, they are held to a very high standard. As James points out, my brethren, let not many of you become teachers, knowing that we shall receive a stricter judgment. James chapter 3, verse 1. Somebody better let him know he has a stricter judgment upon his head. So these men that are standing on these stages, leading these flocks, really have a harsh judgment upon them. And I truly feel bad for them because in all honesty, they don't really know our Father. But I don't feel as bad for them as I feel for those who are blindly following them. So let's be clear about this role that Jamal Bryant has and what he has just absolved himself from. And it should make everyone in the Christian church really assess what just happened. This Christian pastor has set the standard that he can do what he wants. He likes to dress, and that's all that matters. I mean, he even went as far as to tell his followers that if they don't like their significant other and they don't like the way they look, to trade them in and get something better.
I wanted a wife I would rush home to, that I wanted to be excited to see. When we walked in there, I said, shake it fast, watch yourself.
And look how she eased her way up there on that stage. Like he said something good. Like he did something. But this is that pastor. I mean, your boy Big Truck cannot be making this up. You see it for yourself. Where's the message? Where's the truth? What about saving souls? What about salvation? What about leading a person to the Most High? Turning from their old ways and bring them back so that they can be placed in position to receive what the Most High has for them. See, when one is being placed in that type of position, that's a strong torch to carry.
If you don't have nobody that you excited about, trade that booger in and find you somebody that Negroes can talk about. How did you bag that?
How many of y'all just caught that? How many of y'all just caught that? And you wonder why a large number of individuals don't go to services. Me personally, I got nothing against Brother Jamal, but I would never go to his service knowing how he get down. Only two people's services that I will go to: Bishop Jarvis Hines and Mama Lakey Francis. Period.
He literally said this. But either way, he feels that because he likes to dress, that's all that matters.
I bought the dress. And I like it. I don't care whether you like it or not. She ain't married to y'all. She married to me.
She married to me.
It's this simple mindset that he has shared, which is the representation of the doctrines of Satanism. And those who have cheered for him and accepted his remarks have accepted the foundation of Satanism. And I'm going to explain. Let me go back to a major figure who is extremely influential to modern Satanism today. This man is Aleister Crowley. This man, Aleister Crowley, was a British occultist born in 1875. He practiced black magic and he was a Satanist, and he openly identified himself with the number 666. He was actually dubbed by the media at that time as the wickedest man in the world. This man was a major occultist and is a major influence on modern society. He introduced psychedelics, influenced rock stars like Bowie and Page, and he laid the groundwork for modern Wicca and Satanism today. He was an author, he wrote books, and he wrote a major work that, again, is a major influence on Satanism today. That work is called Book of the Law. It was published in 1904. And in this book, there is a major quote that is the foundation of Satanism. This is the quote: "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt."
And also to highlight the way modern feminist women behave and move. Look where it came from. Look where it stemmed from. You see? Is all of this ringing a bell to y'all? Is it beginning to make sense? Is it beginning to hit home and open your eyes and your ears? I know I'm rattling some cages, but so what? One thing I will not do, I will never do, build a platform based of lies, but I will build a platform based of truth. And on my platform, I hold men accountable, women accountable. Good women do good things, they get their flowers. Men do good things, they will get their flowers. I don't discriminate. But to have 96,000 subscribers already, obviously I'm doing something right. I'm saying something right. I'm not going to lie to the people, but I will be straight up, forward, honest, open, and clear with the people because I love the people. Big Truck love the people. Big Truck love the kids. Let's continue.
That's from the Book of the Law. And this right here, this statement is the foundation of Satanism. Do what thou wilt. And he writes that there is no law beyond this. So this is Old English. Let's bring it into modern English so you understand the words. Thou, in Old English, that simply means you. And the word wilt is Old English as well, and it means wish or want. So basically, in modern English, this quote is, do what you want shall be the whole of the law. There is no law beyond do what you want. And understand that is the main premise of Satanism. Do what you want. Now listen, before I go any deeper, do you see in the middle where it says love is the law? I want you to just recognize those words. Because if you remember when gay marriage was being debated in society, What was the number one reason? What was the number one thing they all used to say to justify it?
Love.
And slowly made an entire country realize that love is love.
Love.
It was based upon love. Love wins. It was an argument about love. Love who you want.
Have your views evolved?
Look, I just think that the good news is that as more and more Americans come to understand what this is all about is a simple proposition. Who do you love? Who do you love?
The truth was being said, was being done right in front of your face. All I'm doing is presenting something that most don't know. You see? But when you begin to tap in, it will hit home. See, I can care less about how much money you have, your status. That don't mean nothing. Because when your name is called, your name is called. You can't take that stuff with you. There is no, well, just live in the moment. You better wake up, people. It's time to wake up. Because stuff is happening. Stuff is being done right in front of your face and you don't even see it. What's happening on the right has your focus, has your attention. No, you focus on the wrong things. You need to be paying attention to what's going on to the left. What you don't see, what you don't hear, what's being brewing.
And will you be loyal to the person you love? And that's what people are finding out is what all marriages, their root are about. Whether they're...
I like what he said, being loyal to what you love. So many people are loyal to money. They made money they got. And like I told people, in 2026, we don't chase bags. We chase purpose and peace. When you have purpose and peace, that opens the door for everything. A large number of women love money. It shows. It shows in their behavior. Large number of simps, tricks and simps. Yeah, I'm calling it. Yeah, I'm going there. They love the things of this world. They love material things. They love showing off. They love advertising. I'm getting on the men too. But look at the end result of everything. What does it all mean? Does it matter? What happens when Hashatan, Satan himself, comes in and takes everything from you? Because it's time to pay the piper. I've given you all these things. In return, I'm going to need that from you. I'm going to need that one way or another. I'm going to get that. Don't be that person. Don't ever be that person. Let's continue.
They're marriages of lesbians or gay men or heterosexuals.
Is that what you believe now?
That's what I believe.
And you're comfortable?
I want you to understand that mindset comes directly from Satanism. People are introducing you to a satanic mindset. Now, let's be clear. Satanism is not the same thing as Luciferianism. Not directly. And that's what will throw people off. Because Satanists, they don't worship the devil. And so when somebody says that you're a Satanist, people say, I'm not a Satanist, I don't worship the devil. It's because you don't really understand what Satanism is. Satanists, they don't worship the devil directly, but Luciferians do. Satanists worship themselves. And they believe that there are no rules or laws that they should live by.
Now, if you translate that and upgrade it, then you'll come up with the term narcissism. Narcissist. Catch it? I bet.
And basically, to sum it all up, it all goes back to Satan, which is why it's called Satanism. But there's a bigger picture than just doing what you want. You see, in this world, we are created beings. There is only one lawgiver in this world. There is one who has set the terms that he wants his creation to live by, and that is the Most High, Yahuwah. If you know the slightest thing from your Bible, it's that Satan rebelled in heaven against the Most High and brought a third of the angels with him in rebellion. They did not want to be under the authority of the Most High and do what he wanted to do. And so now Satan, he desires to be like the Most High and to be worshiped. But more important than that, he desires that the world does not follow the ways of the Most High. And he has promoted major accounts of falsehoods. He's created false religions like Islam and Judaism to have a form of Yahweh, but it always detours back to him. And the thing is that Christianity likes to pretend that it's not influenced by this, but they are in fact influenced the most. Christianity is the largest religion in the world. And among many other falsehoods and traditions that they do, what is one of the main premises that Christians believe? What do they believe? Yeah, they believe that they don't have to keep the law. Again, this is as a majority of Christians feel that they don't have.
They do not have to keep the law, but you do. See, when you keep the law, that means you have to do things Yeshua's way. But folk want to do things their way. Let's do away with the law. Let's break the law. Let's take some things out of the law and add some things in the law. Boy, I tell you, the truth is something else, ain't it? And look at what we have today. A splitting example of the things that we have today.
Have to keep the law. Now understand the hypocrisy. They call themselves Christians because they say they are following the Christ, who's the Messiah. But yet, they don't like to do anything that he actually did. And they have excuses for every reason why they don't have to keep the law that the creator of the earth gave his people, and the law that the Messiah that they say that they are following kept perfectly. Christians believe that the Messiah kept it perfectly, so they don't have to. That's what he did for them. He took away the need to be obedient to our Father in heaven. And by accepting that doctrine, you must understand at the very premise and foundation, they are Satanists. It's based in Satanism. But as this Christian church was being spread, it didn't go as far as doing what you want because religion controlled people. They kept them in a state of control. But as this world is being led to Satan, it's all being unleashed. And now people are just saying that they can do whatever they want to do. And that's why Christians won't really understand that they are under this doctrine. Because most Christians, they won't just outright just say that they can do whatever they want. They say that they don't have to be under the law, but then they say that they just can't do what they want. It's actually very much double-minded. But they still live in this mindset because they have determined that they don't have to follow any of the actual rules the Messiah has established. And because of that mindset, they choose what it is they want to follow. They choose what it is that they think that they have to listen to. I mean, just a week ago, they all displayed their satanic mindset by celebrating Christmas.
Of course, before he continues and breaks that part down, get right, people. The life that you living, what you doing, y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all know the wrong that y'all doing. Stop making that wrong right. Stop making excuses for you doing wrong. and you thinking it's right. Stop from it. I'm begging you, stop. Conviction is something else. Don't be one of those people, okay, that Hashatan needs to come see you. He will come see you. You can't run from him. You're in too deep with the worldly stuff, with the wickedness, with the evil. You're in too deep. Don't be one of those people, and you wonder why things are happening to you. You wonder why you find yourself going through things. You wonder why certain things are coming up missing. See, Yeshua been warning you. He has been warning you, but you're not listening. The lights are on, but nobody's home. You're so stubborn and hard-headed, you're not paying attention to what's coming your way. Something's coming your way. You've been given warning signs. I don't know, who am I talking to out there on Facebook and YouTube? God has been warning you. God has been giving you warning signals. He's been giving you signs. Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. God keep telling, stop what you're doing. He's giving you so many chances, but you hard-headed and stubborn until God finally says, okay. Okay. And you wonder why bad stuff is happening to you. You wonder why your household is in a disarray. You wonder why you're getting fired from your job. You wonder why you're having car problems. You wonder why you're having relationship problems, family problems. Because if you would have took advantage of the signs, and when Yeshua was warning you, he would have given you the tools then to fix what needed to be fixed so that you don't have to find yourself in a pickle over here and things get so bad. But also, let's highlight, maybe you need to be humbled. Maybe, just maybe, you need to be humbled. The Most High need to cause some things in your life to humble you, to get you off your high horse. Because you think you missed the big tub. Let's continue.
A holiday that the scriptures clearly don't teach you to practice. A day that the scriptures clearly don't tell them that's true. And the thing is, they will all tell you that they know is not his birthday.
Hear me. Do we know the exact day Christ was born? No, we do not. Do we know the exact month he was born? No, we do not. What do we know? We know at some point in time in a calendar year, the Son of God became incarnate, borrowed the womb of a virgin, and entered into the world. That happened in history at some point in time in a calendar year. He is not a spook and he's not a ghost. He lived a historical life.
I did a taping. I did a video talking about these holidays, these holidays, the deception, the Christmas deception, Valentine's Day deception, Easter deception, Thanksgiving deception, Halloween deception, all the holiday deceptions, and about how the people were lied to, number one. And number two, the types of demons and spirits that you're conjuring up on those holidays that they don't tell you. And the word of Yah, the Torah, when has it ever came down to being consistent when you have a bunny and Easter eggs? Rabbit and Easter eggs. Dang. What you conjuring up on Valentine's Day, Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving? Wait a minute. Wait. Yeah. The truth shall make you free.
And he was born as a child at some point in time in a calendar year. It could have happened in March. It could have happened in February. It could have happened in June. We do not know when it happened. But if there is one day in the year in which we reserve to just commemorate, watch, the incarnation of Christ. As for my house and I, we will celebrate the incarnation of Christ.
All tell you that they know is not his birthday. But this is the day that they chose. Remember, they chose to remember him through, even though he never told them to, even though he's never told them to give gifts to each other, even though he's never told them to bring a tree in their home and decorate it with lights and decorations.
Same thing with the tithing deception. I did one on the tithing deception. That the tithing had nothing to do with money, but food and time. Stop playing. Stop playing with your boy Big Truck. I'm telling you, you're talking to a person that reads, that studies, that sees these things. I look at life with a third eye. I keep my eye on a swivel. Sometimes it's best to pick up your shoulder pads and your helmet and walk on. If folk don't want to listen to you, cool. If folk don't like you, cool. I hope you don't like me, because I know who I am. I know what type of flavor that I'm bringing. I'm rocking rhymes and I'm saying something. Because I choose not to walk like worldly people and live like worldly people. I'm glad you don't like me. But I sleep comfortable at night. I have peace of mind. I keep that good, wholesome energy. I can come and go as I pleased. You see, my money, my peace is all me. I don't live for people in this world. I ain't sacrificing that. But when it comes down to sacrificing, it's going to be for the Most High, Yeshua HaMashiach, the Messiah himself. It's about relationship. And I take my relationship with the Most High very seriously. Yeah, I got faults. Yeah, I'm not perfect. Yeah, I make mistakes. I sure do. But I'm man enough to admit it, and I'm man enough to correct it. Am I right?
I mean, it really sounds crazy, but the overwhelming majority celebrate it knowing that it's not in the Bible. But they think they cannot be judged because they can do what they want and they can worship him how they choose. It's a foundation of Satanism. But again, it's very mild, so they don't really truly recognize the mindset. It doesn't reduce the penalty that they will pay when they stand before our Father, but the
No, because a large number of individuals are brainwashed. And it's a manipulation tactic that a large number of so-called preachers use. Yeah, I said it, so-called preachers, because if you're not standing behind that pulpit on that stage and delivering that word, all it takes is for a person to sit there and listen. Okay? And when that individual sits there and they listen and they take what you say, and how can we apply that to everyday life of what this pastor said so that it can make sense, so that the two can have a connection? What the pastor said and what's going on in real time. If there's not a connection, something is wrong here. Mighty, mighty wrong. Somebody lying. And nowadays, it don't take much for you to notice it. It don't take much. But even then, look at what's going on the pulpit, especially when you have women preachers. Look at what they're wearing, showing their curves and their body shape, when the attention is supposed to be on the message, or their attention and their focus is supposed to be on receiving. They looking at, okay. Where's the focus at? Look where things have gone in this generation. That's the point that I'm making. Look how things went way left versus back then.
The point is, most Christians don't recognize that most of their religion is mild Satanism. Our Father has a whole law that he wrote on stone tablets, that in the new covenant, he said he would now write on our hearts. But Christians think that this law is actually nailed to the cross, not written on our hearts. So instead of it being written on their hearts, what happens when you have a mindset that tells you that the God that you said you serve, you don't have to follow his law anymore? What do you think happens? Do you not think it's easy for the rebellious demon and his rebellious angels to promote more rebellion? Well, that's exactly what has happened in our society, specifically from the 60s and the 70s, when the feminist revolution and the sexual revolution started, when hippies and rock and roll began to grow. Then on to the 90s when they brought the culture.
Well, let me highlight this. Even back then, with feminism and when it started, because to me, that's all cap, because there's no such thing as feminism or feminist, but again, it is what it is. So a large number of women started following something they had no business following, especially black women. And look what we have today. Look how certain things are being spun today. Okay? I want to highlight that. You following something that you had no business following. And when you look at how following something can destroy yourself, your relationships, your marriage, your social life, once again, you always want to go back to the root, how it started, where it began. Once you do that, then you come with the solution. And you stand on that solution. A logic solution.
Rock and roll and merge it into hip hop culture. Remember, this is what Run DMC did. They broke down the walls between rock and hip hop and they merged it. And so they brought this culture into hip hop culture, which is what the major influence of Satanism is today. Hence why we see artists like Jay-Z wearing a shirt from Aleister Crowley saying, "Do what thou wilt."
I'm all about getting to the root of things. And Mr. Crowley has been instrumental throughout music for before I was born, you know what I mean? Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, there's a lot of great artists that, you know, are the building blocks for even hip hop.
that have sold their soul. And it was so good that you wanted to partake of it. Now you sold your soul. Individuals that have sold their soul, you know they paying for it now. They wishing that they never did it in the first place. But see, people, that's how Satan gets you. He'll have you thinking that wrong is right. He'll make it so good until you do it. Then he will look you dead in your face and say, I didn't make you do anything. I just presented it in front of you. You chose to take of it. You chose to do it. I didn't make you do anything. Free will. Free choice. I'm going to let that sit and marinate for a second.
So me understanding that, you know what I mean, and digging into his story and, understanding why he's been so, relevant and influential in music culture, I think it was important for me to, reinstill that. If you didn't know that, if you missed that part, you know what I mean? If you missed that part of the culture of music in general, this beyond hip hop, but just music in general, he's had a big influence on the culture. At first sight, he's the wickedest man alive, right? That's what he's very wicked, man. But if you dig into the poetry and you read between the lines of his poetry and you dig into his story, a lot of the things will make more sense to you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it made a lot of sense with me. A lot of the things that he discusses resonates with me. Well, I just want to leave you with this. My album is called Do What Thou Wilt, and it's based off. It's influenced by Crowley's The Book of the Law. Love is the law. Love is the only law. Love under will. The law is for all. And, if you read the Christian Bible, that's the only commandment that Jesus left. So,
So understand, over decades in the secular world, there has been an intentional promotion of Satanism that has promoted a subtle influence of Crowley's do what you want. And here's the thing that needs to be clear. It's subtle until it's not. There is an agenda that is right in everyone's face. And if you have been following my channel, you know that I have been a strong opponent against the religion of Christianity. Now, let me be clear again, I am not against the Bible. I am not against the redemption, the atonement, and salvation through belief in Yahushua the Messiah. The problem people have is that they think that Christianity is synonymous with the Bible when it's not. Christianity is not synonymous with the Bible, even though people would like to assume it is. Anyways, I have been warning against coming out of the religion of Christianity because it is not biblically true. And there is an overall agenda against Christians, and this fake controversy with Jamal Bryant, literally, as they start their new year on the Gregorian calendar, it is literally a declaration that they are about to bring this agenda forward strong.
In 2026, people please like the video, leave a comment, put a number 1 in the chat. On Facebook and Facebook and YouTube, please put a number 1 in the chat. Let me know you here. Let me know you like the video. Let me know that you like what you're hearing. Let your soul speak. Leave a comment. 2026. What is the word for this year? Consistency. Consistency. Be consistent in all that you do and say. Do something that you've never done in order to have something that you never had but always wanted. That's the goal for 2026. You have that mindset, you go very far. Getting money. If I'm selling my soul, selling my body, getting money. Nah, you're gonna have to do something totally different. You got to change your plan and change your ways in 2026. Ain't nobody buying your body. You're not paying for it like they used to. Ain't nobody hanging out with you like they used to. Ain't nobody calling you like they used to. Ain't nobody coming to check up on you like they used to. Folk ain't flocking over to you like they used to. Things are changing. Life is changing. Ladies, change your mindset. Get you a man that loves you, that wants you, that appreciates you, that you can love and appreciate him. All this single stuff, oh, I'm practicing self-love, self-care. Damn that. Either you was in a relationship and that person messed up, or you was in a relationship with a person and you messed up. Somehow, some way, someone done messed up. Stop it. Stop playing. Stop lying to yourself. Get your affairs in order. Get into a healthy relationship that you know of and sit down somewhere. That goes for both men and women. Stop selling yourself short. Stop selling your body, your mind. Stop it. I'm telling you, one thing you don't want to do is to have Satan himself come knocking at your door, coming to come see you and take whatever he needs to take from you because you didn't want to pay the piper. Chop, chop.
It's no coincidence that this controversy is coming around at the same time when the United States just did all this in Venezuela and war is being provoked around the world. It's no coincidence. It's all happening all in real time. Now listen, maybe you disagree about my premise on Christianity. I have made a series called Testing Christianity. And if you disagree with my thoughts against Christianity, you should take the test that I presented in that series and see where you really stand in your faith. But in part 5 of that series, I explained that the enemy has a plan for Christians. And after witnessing the reaction to Jamal Bryant from Christians, we can see that they are clearly starting to bring about this plan. They're bringing it forth. And the thing is that they haven't even really applied the real pressure yet. Now, I'm not going to go deep into the video. I explained it in that video, but I'm going to explain the premise of the agenda. Understand the people that run this world and that are leading it to Satan, according to Bible prophecy, they have a plan. And what that plan is, for those who have been following mainstream Christianity, is that they plan to bring the world to the brink of destruction. And what people think they are preparing for, it will not work out for them. What I'm talking about is the people expecting the pre-tribulation rapture. This is not going to happen. It's not biblical. And what you will see is that just like many failed the test during COVID, what is coming will be much, much worse.
Yeah. What they did with COVID, that was a test run. That was to see how many individuals they can manipulate, will be manipulated. How many individuals would submit. I'm trying to tell you. Brainwashed. I'm trying to tell you. That was a dry run. That was a test. And look how many people went for it. They took the berry punch. Wearing a face mask. Social distancing. Anybody with common sense know any of those things is not going to keep you alive and save you. If something in the air is going to get you, it's going to get you and hit you where you stand. It wasn't until after the fact that certain people started saying, wait a minute, hold up. Something ain't right about this. Donald Trump even told y'all, but no, y'all didn't want to believe him. And now look, you notice Anthony Fauci's nowhere to be found. Those same individuals that sat on that board, where they at now? They out somewhere chilling because they done got paid. How do you have a crisis, but yeah, you making billions and billions of dollars? Don't worry, I'll wait.
And the plan is that they are going to be tested. And this is part of the plan that they have made in regards to Christians. It says this: then everywhere, the citizens obliged to defend themselves against a world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization and the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. You see, basically, those who are following Christianity, they're not going to have a clue of what to do, and they're going to need direction. And understand, just like they had a plan to guide us through COVID, you better believe they have a strong plan to guide the many lost in Christianity, guide them to the beast and their satanic goals. I mean, let me ask you, when you read that, why do you think they believe people are disillusioned in Christianity? You see, I know it's pride that will tell people that they believe people are saying that because they're just evil. And because they reject the Messiah, they just believe that they're disillusioned in Christianity. But it's actually much deeper than that. You see, they know Christians are disillusioned because it's these Masons who are creating the Christian doctrine and telling Christians what to focus on and what not to focus on. How many of your Christian pastors are Masons? How many of them have actually taken oaths at altars? We already know Jamal Bryant has taken oaths at the altar with Kappa Alpha Psi. We know that they stand at altars and take oaths to other gods. So how many of these Christian pastors?
All of these fraternities, they do the exact same thing. My dad is a Freemason. I know a lot of things we've all got from my dad, we've all been grandfathered into. I'll leave it at that. I'm trying to told y'all. You got to know how to move in this season. Keep the law. Some will tell you to do away with it. I ain't doing away with nothing. What the Torah says that is true and that is real, I trust that. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm not going to veer from it. I'm going to know it. Because I know who I have a relationship with, a spiritual relationship with. I'm going to have a bag of popcorn and a Red Stripe beer, and I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch the show. Because a lot of lost people, hear me and hear me clearly, lost people, stubborn people, hard-headed people, people that have sold their soul to the things of this world, the enemy is going to collect in so many ways. And Yeshua says, I'm going to sit back. My people are going to sit back and watch me work and watch what happens to them. He said, my people made an executive decision not to follow them. So, street code, my people going to sit back and watch them get punished. And we seeing it in 2026. We seeing punishments getting handed out. the different individuals.
Have done this. You will be surprised to know how strong an influence there is in the Christian church with people who have already taken oaths at altars to different gods. And in regards to Jamal Bryant, we know Jamal Bryant is a third-generation preacher from the AME Church. The AME Church is a known Masonic church started by Richard Allen, a Prince Hall Freemason. We know Jamal's dad and grandfather were both prominent bishops in the AME Church, serving the Masonic community of Baltimore for the last century. Jamal Bryant got his start from founding his own AME Church. He is a Kappa who took an oath at an altar and is extremely linked to Masonic connections. I can't say that he's a Freemason only because it's not publicly declared. And so for me, in my credibility, I do not say things that are not actually confirmed. But if you know anything about the AME Church, its history, and founding by Prince Hall Mason Richard Allen, and if you understand the structures of the church, if you understand Methodism, then you understand the Masonic connections. It's hard to not draw the conclusions, especially being that he's a Kappa, which is another organization started by Freemasons. Most people really just don't understand that they're influenced by puppets who have no true grounding in the word, and they are here pushing the boundaries of your values. And so these people know that Christians are disillusioned because they are the ones that are filling them with the disillusion. In this writing, Pike said, constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. Understand, people are going to be driven to desperation. And as Pike said, those disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer brought finally out in the public view. You see, they've been hiding it. It hasn't been fully brought out, but they're bringing it out in the end times.
They're bringing it out, and it's being done right in front of your face. My thing is this, and as I close, people, it's time to wake up. It really is. It's time to wake up. It's time. Because the very thing that we think is the very thing that's already being done. We just don't know it. We just haven't seen it. I love my people. I want to see my people grow. I want to see my people rise. I want to see all people grow and all people rise. But you cannot be ignorant and stubborn and hard-headed to the things that is true, that is reality. Because a lot of times it's the very things that will have you bound, that would have you brainwashed, that would have you controlled, mentally controlled, spiritually controlled. It's your boy Big Truck. Go on ahead and be the best version of yourself. Thank you for tuning in to this live stream. Stay tuned for the next show. Right back at you, one.
Okay.